Yeah, yeah. Nice and calm at the start because everybody takes off too fast. So welcome back to another POV run from my camera, and this time we're gone to Banteer in North Cork, and it's the Banteer 5-miler hosted by Mount Hillary AC. And some wise words from me there as we get underway. And again, as I've been saying in the last couple of videos, it's just amazing how quickly people take off and how fast they run in their first K. And as the race goes on again, you'll see people drifting back. Pacing guys, get it right. Some people really gone off way too fast. This race is the first race of a league series. Actually, it's the Rebel Diamond League, and Banteer, as I say, was the first race there. That's already taken place. Second race is the Drummahan Roadrunners 5K. Third race is my own host club, and I hope to see everybody in Cork in Buin in May. Race there's the 5K race in Buin. It's one of the fastest 5Ks around. Always a great race, so better be there. 500 entrants only, and it's selling out quickly already, so that's good. But again, this was a good day out for me. As I mentioned in my last video, I wasn't overly happy with my time in the previous week's video, but this one was a 5-miler. Again, not doing huge training at the moment, but very happy with my time overall. Paced it quite well. I'm going to give a shout out to Ellen, who appears in this video as well. Ellen has headed me the whole way around, and we had ran a couple of races now at the stage, and Ellen was kind of in around my pace as well. And on a previous race or two, she's finished behind me, but on this one, she's out in front, and I have to say, excellently paced the whole way through. And also something that I'm very conscious about myself when I race, and you can see it in Ellen's race, and I'm going to point it out once or twice over the video when it happens, about running the race line. And we spoke after the race actually about running the race line, and Ellen was very conscious of herself, and again, it's something I'm very conscious about. And again, when you look up the road, pick the straight line, and that might be dissecting the road in some way, but you see a lot of people, hugging the left side of the road all the time. It's not always the shortest route, so run the race line. And again, as we get into it more, I'm going to point it out, but you can see, it's great, this view that I have, that I could see Ellen above, where she was cutting the corners, running the straight line. I was kind of doing the same myself. We weren't spot on, so maybe my line of vision isn't as good as her line of vision, or maybe the other way around, I'm not sure. But it's just nice to see someone was conscious about it when they were running. So just jumping slightly ahead here now, and we've gone to kilometre 1, and again, feeling fairly relaxed at this stage, and I've gone through there just over 4 minutes, so holding it steady. And again, I think, as I said earlier, this is the key. You've got to pace right and pace early correctly. Also got to point out something about this recording, and while there's never been a problem with the 5K so far, the 5-milers, so this is my second 5-miler using the camera. It's the Insta360 Go 3 camera I use. When the camera's mounted in the cap, you get basically 32 minutes from the battery life, and when it's mounted in the case, obviously it's about 90 minutes now. The case is a bit bigger, so I try and avoid using that. But unfortunately, my 5-mile time is over 32 minutes, and as I had this switched on for a minute or two before the race started, I've really got myself into a situation where I either run faster to get under 32 minutes, or I lose some of the race. And in this case, I lost the last couple of 100 meters. It was pretty close, so I lost the last couple of 100 meters, so you can see that at the end. But I do have, thanks to Graham Meikle, myself finishing under his camera over the finish line, so at least we got that. But yeah, very steady as we go. Again, we move forward a bit here. So big shout out to the runner on my left here. This is Ross Gallagher, and Ross is a visually impaired runner, but that doesn't stop him at all. Ross turns up to many runs across the county and across Munster. And again, well done to Ross and his guide runner here, getting around the course and running superbly. Right, so skipping ahead a bit here now again, and as you can see, I'm starting to pick off a number of runners here now as we go into the second mile. We've gone out into the countryside a bit more, and we're looping back around, and we're going to come back to the starting section of the race again. You pass through the starting section for a second time here. A nice crowd around as well to cheer us on. So again, we're picking off runners as we go. Now here's a great example of what I spoke earlier, and you can see Ellen, who's the third runner ahead there. She's hugging the right-hand side of the road where a lot of others are on the left, and actually there was a group ahead that were on the left as well. But immediately as she dissects the corner, she swoops back across the road again, taking the shortest route. And again, I think it's a great tactic to employ, and one it's going to pop up once or twice more over this route. There he is, our friend Graham. It's the second time we've seen him so far already on the route, and we'll see him again. But now we're coming back in to the village. Great cheer on here as you go through the village and back towards the starting line. And it's a section where, yeah, pick up the pace a bit because there's a crowd around. So chest out and shoulders back, and off we go. So on the journey back to the start line, and again, great support here. Really well organised race in Banteer. A huge shout out to the host club there. I've never seen so many photographers at a race. Too many to mention actually, but again, loads of footage afterwards as well, which is great. Again, these runs, you can see the graphics on the screen there. They're pretty easy to follow, I think. And I think again these run videos help to show people the courses and what to expect, so we'll try and keep these going. Got some great feedback from people. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but if you're watching, maybe it is. I'm sure the host club as well, great to see their course shown off, and keep up the viewing, guys. Really appreciate the feedback. A faster second mile. So we go through the second mile in 6:20. So again, the last couple of hundred meters there as we crested by that crossroads where the supporters were. And there's a bit of a downhill section here, so I have to pick up the speed a bit. So enjoying this section, and again, still feeling really relatively comfortable here at this stage. Certainly wasn't overextending myself and trying to have consistency throughout the race rather than, as we keep talking about, the fast start and the fading desperately to the end. So wanted to avoid that at all cost. So a good example here again of the bends and taking the racing line. So you can see we swing from the right, cross the road to the left, and back right again. And even I probably take a more direct line, I think, than the runners ahead of me even. So again, very conscious of this. It's definitely a tactic to use. You can knock a few meters or a few seconds off your race, in particular longer races. When you start going into longer distances, you would be surprised how much time or how much distance even as well you can lose by following the bend of the road rather than following the direct line. So we've jumped ahead a bit again, and this section of the course is quite hilly, actually, rolling hills, nothing too serious, but again, you can see people starting to tire now. And again, picking off some more runners. This lady in front in the peach top had an exceptional run, very steady throughout. Eventually, kind of pulled up on her shoulder, and she stayed with me in fairness. So another strong run there. But yeah, slightly challenging section here again, and you needed something for this mile or so. So approaching mile three, and it's another 6:38. And again, considering that was a tough enough mile, I was happy enough with that. As you can see now, I've overtaken one other runner, and Ellen is now the runner ahead of me. But again, an absolutely consistent race from her. The distance never shortened really. So excellent pacing and a solid run there. So big credit to Ellen. Now, this section of the course is an open back section. So again, welcome sight when you see the lead car and lead runner coming back against you. It can be far to go now to start turning back. And I like open back sections because, you know, you're fairly in passing runners at all stages, and huge encouragement for the lead runners here, but also when you're turning and coming back against the runners further behind. So it makes life a bit easier, I think, especially on these kind of rural routes. Well, the politeness now from me there now is second to none, in fairness. Cheering on all the runners as we pass. People think I'm not a nice guy, but genie Max, I can't be any more encouraging. Right, the turning point is just ahead, and I genuinely considered the Japanese turn here around this corner because it's narrow enough, and I was thinking about it, but I probably would have landed on my arse, I'd say, if I tried that turn. So stuck to the traditional way of turning around the bend. Obviously, coming into this cone, you just don't have a clue what's going on behind you. But when you round the cone, at least you have a bit of a view. So another positive of an out and back course, you can see what's going on for the runners following you on. So a big shout out to my teammate Ken O'Mahony here. Loving the camera, he's given it loads. But fair play to Ken. He's taken in this race as part of his long run. So he had done 7 miles beforehand, and in fairness, attended a race still. So hats off to Ken there. And again, good to see people out in the route today, um, waving at me, or maybe I don't know if it's waving at me or giving their disgust at what I'm doing. But again, it's for some people, not for everybody. Loads of encouragement out in the course. Again, I'm still cheering people on here as I head back still a bit undulating, but overall, really good course, actually, in fairness. It's probably one of the better 5 mile courses around. Again, as you can see, Ellen is still ahead of me, still maintaining that gap, and still running the direct line on the route. So again, I think that's a huge lesson to take out of today's race video is, again, look up the road, draw that direct line to the furthest point and follow it, and don't be adding in extra meters by going from, running left of the road at odd times or whatever it may be. Run the direct race route. So before the camera goes kaput like me, I'm going to call out the results there. So Jeremiah Sheehan was first home in the Banteer 5 miler from North Cork SC in a time of 25:43, followed by Michael DeLay, Skibbereen SC in 27:01. So Jeremiah had a bit of time there to spare. He's a regular winner this race. And Dara Coleman was third from Mallow SC in 27:48. And in the female event, first home there was Carol Finn, had a very strong finish to the race there. She was second at the turn, but gained a bit of time on the second half of the course, and well done to Carol, who was 29:24. Niamh Moore from the same club, Leaving SC, 29:28, and Breda McGinn, very strong third place there, 31:36. Ellen, the runner who you should see ahead of me, ended up finishing fourth. Again, huge thanks to Graham Meikle for the finishing line footage of myself coming in here. Well done to Monterey SC, Banteer 5 miler.